In this video, I'll show you how to change the oil and filter in a 2011 to 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk. To begin, you'll pull the hood release just beneath the dashboard by the driver's side door. From there, you'll look for the hood latch release just under the P of the Jeep logo and move it from right to left before lifting up your hood. Next, you can remove the oil filler cap and set that aside. You can wait until after you remove the oil pan drain plug to do this if you prefer, but I like to remove it while I'm still in the engine bay so I don't forget to later and end up with a partial vacuum keeping the oil from flowing freely. Next, you'll pop off the oil filter cover and set that aside to have ready access to your oil filter before moving underneath the vehicle. You'll find an access through the skid plate to the oil pan drain plug between the front tires. You'll need a 13mm socket to remove the plug. If your Jeep has a cover secured over the plug, you'll need a 10mm socket to remove that cover. When I bought my Jeep used, it did not have that additional cover, so I'll only need the 13mm socket here. Once you break the seal on the drain plug, unscrew it by hand just a few turns before moving out of the way to slide the drain pan into place. It's a good idea to have on some eye protection here because it might splash a little bit when the oil starts to flow. After you get that plug removed and your oil draining, you can move back up top to remove the oil filter housing using a 24mm socket and an extension. It's a pretty tight space to remove that housing through, but it does come through with a little bit of effort. You'll definitely want to have a shop rag on hand to clean up any kind of spillage. To remove the old oil filter from the housing, just give it a pull, set that aside. I like to use the box from the new filter to store the old filter in until I can dispose of it. Your new oil filter should have come with a replacement gasket for the oil filter housing cover. If it did, go ahead and remove the old gasket from that cap to replace it with the new gasket. As you can see here, it can be a bit difficult to get off. You might need a screwdriver to kind of work that loose. Before you put the new gasket on, you'll want to take a little bit of the oil from inside that cover and work it around that gasket. This will keep it from sticking while you're putting it onto the cover. Once you get the new gasket to the bottom of the threads, take your screwdriver and carefully work it down to the bottom of the housing. Next, you'll install your new filter pointy side down. If you can put that filter into the filter cap before you put that cap inside, that's preferable. I've never been able to get that to work, so I just go ahead and put the oil filter element in, then install the cap over it and screw it down tight. Next, you'll reinstall the oil filter cover plate by hooking it in at the back and then pivoting it down to pop it back into place. From there, move back underneath the vehicle to reinstall the oil pan drain plug. For the sake of this video, I did not wait for the oil to fully stop dripping, but it's better if you do to remove as much of the old used oil as possible. It is recommended that you install a new crush washer with the drain plug with each oil change. I did not have one on hand, so I did not follow this recommendation. However, if you find drippings or stains under your vehicle where the drain plug is located, this might be your problem. If you're using a torque wrench, tighten the plug to 20 foot-pounds or 27 Newton meters. Moving back up top, you'll want to use a funnel to refill your engine with 0 W20 oil per specifications. If you have the 3.6 liter engine, you'll need 6 quarts of oil. If you have the 5.7 liter engine, you'll need 7 quarts of oil. I like to go ahead and put about 5.5 quarts of oil into my engine and then check the level using the dipstick before adding that last half quart. Before checking your oil level, make sure that you take your vehicle down off of any kind of ramps or jack stands that you might have had it on so that you have a flat surface. If you are still on an incline when you check the dipstick, it may not read correctly. Once you get that down level, go ahead and wipe off the dipstick and then place it back to get a good clean reading to see where you're at. As you can see here on my dipstick, I'm just at the bottom end of the range of the hashed area that shows where the oil should be. So I'm going to go ahead and add that last half quart. If you think you have a steady enough hand, you can go ahead and add this last bit without the funnel. Just understand you might make a mess doing so, so make sure you have that rag on hand. The last step now is to reset the oil life tracker in your Jeep's computer. To do this, start your vehicle and let your gauges settle. Toggle down using the arrows until you reach oil life, then hold the OK button until the oil life resets to 100%. Turn the vehicle back off, wait a few seconds, then turn it back on to verify that the computer is in fact reset. Here you can see that we're still showing 100%. Finally, toggle back up to your preferred display and you're finished, saving yourself a bit of cash for your efforts. Nice work!